And we're back. Once again, welcome to another episode of Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for adult small business owners and entrepreneurs, where we help you sell what you make. I am your host, best-selling author Sadon Long, and today is Wednesday, and we are officially 92 days away from Christmas. That's right, 92 days away from the last real holiday of the year where people are going to be forced to buy. So if you are a small business owner, we are going into what we call the Big Six, which is the 6 weeks before Christmas where most of the money gets spent. But if you're a small business owner, you don't want to wait till Big Six. Do you? Why? Because when we get to Big Six, all the good customers are going to be gone. And you do want to work with the good customers, right? Okay, well, let's talk about it. So today's video is why you should be already in Christmas selling mode now. Okay, well, the number one reason that you need to be in Christmas selling mode now is all the good customers already shopping. Now, all the good customers who have the biggest budgets are shopping. Now, when I say the biggest budgets, I don't mean they're going to spend the most money. I mean that right now, whatever they're going to spend, they have it all. And it is a lot easier to get a sale, to get multiple sales, to upsell before people start spending money than after. Let's look at it like this. Let's just say my budget is $2,500. Okay. And you have something that's $100. If I give you $100, I still have $2,400 left. But let's just say you, business owner, have something else that they might want or need that costs another $25. Okay. So when are they more likely to want to give you that $25? When they still have $2,400 left to spend, or when they're down to their last $200? So that is the number one reason why you want to start selling now. Because you want to get people while they still have money in their pocket. You want to get people while they're still looking for what they want to buy. Because once they start looking at the big boxes and they start looking at the deals on Amazon, how are you going to compete? We talk about this all the time. There are monies that are already set aside by these big companies. And they're going to start throwing that money toward the internet as soon as possible. If you look up, you got Wall Days coming up. You got Amazon with Amazon deals. They're both starting in October, the second week. So if they're starting in the second week of October, what is that telling you? That's telling you that if you wait till Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, a lot of the best customers will already have spent their money. Long dramatic pause. So again, I don't think it's ridiculous to think that you should have a plan in place, that you should already be implementing, that you should already be reaching out right now. Is it ridiculous to think that? Is it ridiculous to think that the end of September is a great time to start reaching out to people who are going to want to have the gifts already purchased, already wrapped, already ready to go? Is September a bad time to start reaching out to people who probably been looking, saving, trying to get their money together all year and saying, hey, we have something that I know your granddaughter would like, or we have a dress that I know you probably want to wear, on New Year's Eve. We have some boots, we have some coats, because we know the weather's changing soon. I mean, if that's what the Walmarts and the Amazons and the Pennies are doing, there has to be some validity to it, right? Good question. And I don't think it's crazy to think that they are, because we see it on our timelines. We see it on, our TVs. We see it in our newspapers. So right now, if you're a small business owner and this hasn't been the best year for you because of inflation, it only makes sense that you try to make it up right now over the next 90 days. Because people have to buy for the kids. Because if they don't buy, what kind of parent are they? You know, they got to buy for their spouse. They got to buy for their bae. Because if they don't, what type of partner are they? You know, they're more than likely going to have to buy for their boss, going to have to buy for people in their little book clubs and their church groups and their, coworkers. Or what kind of friend, coworker, believer would you be? This time of year, people are going to buy. And low key, if you start right now, yes, I said low key, you might actually grab a few customers for Sweetest Day. You know, maybe everybody doesn't know what that is, but in the Midwest, that's where women buy gifts from men, or vice versa. But it's like a holiday that's not quite a holiday. Similar to Valentine's Day. But if you start reaching out now, you might actually get a few customers for Sweetest Day as well. Unless you don't want those customers. Unless you don't want customers who haven't started spending their money yet. And yes, you don't want customers, who still have time to come back to you 2 or 3 times to get more gifts. Unless you don't want them. Now, number 2 on the reason you need to start now is because it gives people a chance to experience you. It gives them a chance to come into your store, to go to your website, to come by your house, to test out your products and see that they work. Now, the reason you want them to have time is because if the experience is good, then there's time for them to tell other people. And if they tell other people, there's a chance that those people will then buy from you as well. There's a chance that they'll go out and say, hey, man, I got a homegirl. She cold with it. You need to try her banana pudding. She cold with it. You need to go by there. She's got some creams and some butters. She mixed them with some of the oils so they smell really good. So now not only do you get that customer, but there's enough time for you to get 2 or 3 referrals from that customer. Now, how would that help you? So, number 1, it gives us a chance to get the best customers. Number 2, it gives us enough time for those customers to not only buy from us, but then refer their friends. Unless you don't want referrals. Okay, well, that's up to you. But again, we're at a point right now where you can't keep kicking these decisions down. You can't keep saying, well, tomorrow. Because if your plan is tomorrow, that makes it 91 days. If your plan is tomorrow, that's one more day closer to Amazon days and Walmart days and Penny's Black Friday sale, pre-Black Friday sale, and now the options for them are that much wider or more expansive, or they have more options, whatever the term I'm looking for is, but they have more of them. Because now you have more competition. Maybe you're the only one sent them an email in September. Maybe you're the only one that reached out to them. Maybe you're the only one that called them. Maybe you're the only one that's trying to get them right now. But in 3 weeks, you will not be the only one. So if your plan is to have a successful holiday season, how are you going to do that if you can't get any customers? In what world do you wake up one day and people just beating down your door without you doing something? Without you sending an email, without you shooting a video, without you sending a flyer, without you asking, calling, reaching out, touching them multiple times. I mean, let's be clear. If Diddy was out, Diddy be trying to sell you some De Leon right now. He be trying to sell you some Ciroc. Back in the day, would have been trying to sell you some Sean John. Okay. So while you're watching, trying to figure out what's going to go on with his trial and what's going on with his arrest record, do remember, if the shoe was on the other foot, he wouldn't be watching you. He'd be somewhere trying to sell you something. Why? Because that's how he made his money. By selling clothes, selling music, selling liquor. So you can look at that and say whatever you want about what he did. But can you really afford to waste time that you can't get back? Worried about that? Just saying. Pretty sure Harvey Weinstein, whether he's in the front or the back or secretly doing it, he's trying to sell you some movies this holiday season. So if that's what business owners are doing, regardless of what they do with their personal lives, that's their primary goal, why isn't it yours? Just saying, why isn't it yours? Why isn't your number one goal right now to protect your family, to make sure that you can cover your bills and cover your payroll, to make sure that you can continue to pay that person who's posting videos for you, to make sure you can continue to see your business grow? Why isn't that your number one priority? And the fastest, easiest way for your business to grow is through referrals. Do a little math right quick. That's why we still in the, why right now is important mode. But let's do a little math right quick. So let's just say I got 10 customers. 3 of those customers gave me a referral. Now I have 13 customers that I didn't have to do anything to get. I had 10. 3 more just came because I had the 10. And if I got 2 more referrals at a later date, now I have 15. And if 3 of the new 5 that I got gave me 3 referrals, now I have 18. And if I circle back to the other 5 that hadn't given me a referral yet, maybe 2 of those give me one, and now I got 17. But I got time to do it if I'm doing it during the early part of the holidays and not at the end of it. See how that works? If I'm doing it now, if I'm putting emphasis on it now, if I'm applying pressure to it now, if I'm focusing on it now, it gives me the opportunity to keep the ball rolling, to keep the success coming. Shout out to Consuela. Thank Consuela for jumping in this morning. Make sure you go over to Crafty Consuela. She does door decor, and this is a great time to get you some door decor. Holidays are coming. We got Halloween, we got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas, we got New Year's. So something to make that door look extra special sounds like a really great idea. So check her out. She's going to leave her link in the comments. So make sure that you check out. But as I'm saying, if you do it right now, that gives you time to get 2, 3, 4 referrals. And remember, referrals close at a higher rate than anything else that you could do. Why referrals close at a higher rate? Because they're getting the information from somebody they know, like, and trust, who's already experienced you, who can already tell them what it's going to cost, who can already tell them what to expect, who can already tell them everything they need to know so that you don't have to. But if you wait till Black Friday, they may go to one store, see everything they want, buy it there, and not even make it to your store. If you wait till Black Friday, they may have already spent all their money. So here's some tips for when you're trying to close and trying to sell during the holiday season, especially the early part. Now, what you want to do during the early part is offer a guarantee. Hey, even if you bought it in September, if they don't bring it back to January, no problem. Still give you your money back. We'll still let you return it. So you want to get rid of that whole 30-day thing. Why? Because you want people to buy now. Money they spend now is money you have in your accounts now. Money that you can use to protect your family. Money that you can use for payroll. Money that you can use to add some staff. So we want to waive the 30-day thing and tell them, hey, man, if you buy it now, you can still return it first of the year. So that's one thing you want to do, even if you're starting to sell early, and you really should be trying to sell early. Seriously, you should be trying to sell early. Unless you don't want to make any money. That's on you. I don't think it sounds ridiculous to say that if people are ready to shop now, that you need to be ready to sell now. Okay, number one. Now, another tip, if you're selling early, is offer them some type of incentive to buy early. You know, we're not going to wait till Black Friday to put it on sale. We're going to put it on sale now. You know, what do you see? You see JCPenney's with the pre-Black Friday sale. You see Walmart days. You see Amazon days. What are they doing? They're offering the discount now. So let's not try to wait until Small Business Saturday. Let's do it now. And let's aggressively do it now. Because if we aggressively do it now, that allows us to have those customers on our customer list. And I don't think it's unreasonable to believe that if we get 4 or 5 new customers this month, that they'll still be buying from us this time next year. Now, what would that do for your business if you could get 3, 4, 5 new customers that were consistent and loyal and were checking in and promoting and referring? That wouldn't be bad, would it? Okay. But the best time to do that is to offer your goods and services now, before everybody else does. You know, there's a phrase that says the early bird catches the worm. Well, we're going to say that the early small business owner catches the customer. So you want to start early. You want to make sure that you are on top of it if you want to be successful this holiday season. Now, I know you want to be successful. And even if you don't want to be successful for you, what about your family? You know, they're going to need gifts. So you're going to need to make sales in order for them to get gifts. You know, what about your heating and lights, electricity? You're going to need to pay those bills both in your house and if you have a brick and mortar location, in your brick and mortar location. So you can't have people shopping in cold stores. So if you can't come up with that money out of your pocket, where's it going to come from? I'm just saying. Where is it going to come from? You know. Number three is, man, it's time to isolate yourself a little bit. Now, I know this is, a little bit off the other two, but it is time for you to isolate yourself and focus on business and be around business owners. Because this time of year, your friends are making money. You know, when your friend gets off work, her money already made for the day. So she can come home and hold a conversation with you. She can tell you, hey, man, let's go out and do this and do that. But is your money made for the day? She's got PTO. She's got sick days. She's got vacation days. Those are all free money. But as a business owner, do you have any free money? Or the only way you get money is if you sell stuff. And if you don't sell stuff, you don't get no money. So right now you might need to focus a little bit. You might need to put yourself in you do need to put yourself in go mode. You need to be in beast mode. You need to be in focus on making my product mode. Because when your friend gets up and goes to work tomorrow, they just start paying her again. If you don't get up and go to work tomorrow, who's paying you? Who's paying you? If I was you, you say, well, what would I focus on if I was a small business owner who didn't have a good year? If I was a small business owner that didn't have a good year, you know what I do? I get out my phone. I go on my Facebook. I go on my Instagram. I go on my LinkedIn. I go on everything that I had, and I just play the numbers game. I'd ask as many people as possible because I know if I ask as many people as possible, it gives me a much better chance of hitting my number. Okay. Which leads me to what I probably should have said first, which is know your numbers. If you're a business owner that wants to be successful and be like the successful business owners, what you need to do is you need to know your numbers. How many sales do I need? How many people do I need to get that sale? Okay. And if I get that sale, how many referrals do I need from each and every one of those people I got a sale from? See, now you can go into your day going, I need to contact 10 to 15 people, because I know if I contact 10 to 15 people, I'm going to get 7 people to respond, and of those 7, 3 are going to buy, and of those 3, 2 are going to give me a referral that's going to close. So now that's how I get to 5. And if I need 3 of those a day, then that means I need to contact this many people. Now, I know that you're probably going to say, but how does that work with the internet? Okay. Well, when you're using the internet, and you're like, well, what would I do if I was just using the internet? Well, first of all, I wouldn't just use the internet. If I was you, I would reach out to people. I would reach out to people that I've been doing business with. Ask them if they know anybody. Ask them if they need anything. You know, if you were landscaping this summer, hey, we talking about leaf removal and Christmas tree setup and Christmas decorations set up in the winter. Same customer. They already know, like, trust you, already know how to pay you. If I was you, that's what I would do. But because, again, people who know, like, and trust you are more likely to give you money. Because they already know, like, and trust you, and they've experienced you. So your brand with them is a lived experience, not something that they saw on a business card. And if you're doing Christmas decorations and you're doing Christmas landscaping and you're doing leaf removal, guess what? People are going to drive by and see those lights. People are going to drive by and see those freshly done hedges. People are going to drive by and see those clean lawns with no leaves on them and want to know who did it and how can I get the same treatment for my home. And then the other thing, you get a chance to ask that person for a referral. You know, as a matter of fact, one of the main things I do if I was trying to come up right now, man, I'd be offering as many senior services as possible. You know, because the amount of people who don't have the strength of physical ability or the kids to run their errands, to get their groceries, to clean their yards, to set up their Christmas decorations, to haul out all of the things that maybe they accumulated over the year that they don't want anymore. That would be a huge opportunity if it was me, you know, that I would look at. Again, all of these things are just about servicing the community and looking around and seeing what people need done. You know, and if you've ever read The Big Picture by Dwayne Ransford, now you'll know that's how Dwayne got his start. Just walking up and down the street. Of course, he was 12 at the time, but that gave him the money to then get into other businesses. And once he got into those other businesses, then it gave him capital to keep getting in other businesses because he was never losing money. And then he was able to hire other people. And now he could get 2 yards. His homeboy could get 3 yards. He split the money with him. He take half of the money for yards that he didn't even have to do. And he just took those same principles and perfected them. And now he's got almost 300 doors, if not more, in real estate. So you don't have to look at this and say, well, it's a small thing. Yes, it is a small thing to develop the skill of sales. It is a small thing to develop the relationships that you need to ultimately start a business that people want to do business with, that is recognized by the bank and is recognized by foundations that want to give away grant money. So you got to start somewhere. The number one thing I see right now where people are struggling with is they don't like where they have to start from. They don't want to start with the reaching out to people. They don't want to have to sell. They just want to hire people. But if you don't know how to do the job, how do you then hire somebody else to do it? Would you hire somebody to cook a dish that you never cooked before? How do you know what it's supposed to taste like? How do you know what it's supposed to look like? How do you know if it's any good? Do you really want to put your reputation on the line for that? Same thing with marketing. If you've never done anything in marketing and sales, how do you know how to hire a marketing and sales person? You hear me say this all the time. How do we judge marketing people? Well, personally, I think you need to judge them by the amount of sales you get. Because you say you want marketing, but really you want marketing that leads to sales. You want marketing that leads to you being able to capture and keep customers who give you money on a consistent enough basis for you to make a living. Now, if all you're concerned about is pictures and a website that nobody goes to, but it looks good for the people in, your little circle that looked at it one time, it's like, oh, girl, I like that. Then, have at it. That's on you. But if you're somebody who needs this website to work like a salesperson, then you need to be hiring somebody who can take you from click to close. Now, what do I mean when I say from click to close? I mean from the time they click on your link, from the time they click on your video, from the time they click on you on the Google page or your Facebook page, all the way to the point where they're giving you their information and their credit card. Now, when you sit down with your marketer, ask them about that. Because you're not going to keep paying money out if no money's coming in, right? As a matter of fact, if you want, drop your name in the comments. I'll take a look at your website and I'll give you whether or not it's ready for the holidays or not. Just leave it in the comments. I'll take a look at it, like, hey, that's a good one. Hey, that's not a good one. Hey, you need to change this right here. Hey, you need to be saying this. It's not enough buttons. And I'll give you some recommendations on who to fix it or how to fix it or who could fix it or how to fix it, whichever one. But the idea is that you don't want to end up in a situation where you miss all the good customers this holiday season. You don't want to be scuffling at the end trying to have a sell-off and killing your profit margin. 10%, 20% now is way better than trying to give it away for 70% because you trying to keep it from going to Walmart 7 weeks from now. Or am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. You think I'm wrong? I mean, mathematically it makes sense. And emotionally, I couldn't imagine how that's going to feel if you like at the point where you're like, oh, I got to get somebody in here, so I'll give it to you for whatever price just to say I sold something. So again, we want to get the best customers. We want to stay away from having to cut our prices really low. We want to give ourselves enough time to get some referrals. We want to isolate ourselves and focus on our business right now, because isolating ourselves and focusing on our business is going to put us in a position to not have to be without later on. In the great words of Maxine Waters, it is time to reclaim your time. I think it's Maxine Waters. Is that Maxine Waters? I think that's Maxine Waters. That said, reclaim your time. And what she really is saying, man, take that time back that people been stealing from you. Take it back. You don't want to be in a situation where you can't give your family the best life possible, do you? Do you? You don't want to have to keep struggling, do you? You don't want to go into the new year in debt, do you? You don't want to miss the last opportunity of the year, probably the biggest opportunity of the year for small business owners, do you? You don't want to lose all the good customers to the big boxes and Amazons and the Walmarts, do you? I don't think you do. So yeah, you got to reclaim your time. You got to refocus. You got to be around business owners. Because being around your friends who don't understand business doesn't make you sharper. Doesn't make you more creative. Now, what it will do is it'll distract you. What it will do is it'll frustrate you. What it will do is it'll keep you little. What it will do is show you how much you really aren't respected by your friends, because the people who really respect you are like, oh man, she running her business right now. I need to give her some space. Let me say this again. The people who respect you will respect the fact that you are running a business. They will not be chasing you around trying to get you to do stuff that is not in your best interest, like give them a discount or like go out all the time and spend money that you got to make. They will give you space, grace, and they will send you some customers. If they're not sending you some customers, if they're not vouching for you, if they're not standing up for you, if they're not liking and they're not sharing and they're not demanding, can you really say that they're your friends? Can you really say that they locked in with you? Just saying. Can you really say that? And for you, business owner, because I'm riding with the business owners. I'm riding with the small business owners, the self-employed folks with no employees, the freelancers, the entrepreneurs. I'm riding with y'all. You and I both know if you get your bread up, they're gonna be there for the blow up and the go up. Oh, that's my girl. I always knew she'd do it. But did they send you any business? Did they send you any customers? Did they buy something themselves? Did they go live? Did they hit a like? Did they hit a share button? Or are they just going to be there for the parties and the good times and the launches? Here's one more thing about support. So here's the thing that small business owners need to understand about support. Number one, it has a time limit. People will not support you forever. It will be a little while, maybe a little long while at best. Number two, support has a price limit. People may come to your events if they're cheap, or if they're free, or if they got a plug, or if they name on the list. But will they spend $300-$400 to come to your event? Will they spend $100 for a ticket to your event? You know 300 people. Are you going to get $300 sales? Okay. And even when people do, be very aware of people who are shouting you out, because sometimes the shout out don't help you. You know, what do I mean when I say the shout out doesn't help you? When they say, hey, out here support my girl, that does not make you look good. That makes them look good. You know, because they didn't say, hey man, this is a wonderful event that I think you need to pull up to because of A, Y, B, C, F, and G. They said, hey, I'm out here supporting. You know, they've not addressed the need. They've not addressed anything. And if your friends are doing that, you need to check them. Say, hey man, if you're going to talk about my business, talk about some of the things that we got going on. Talk about some of the things that you know are beneficial to the customer. You know, give them some details. Give them something that helps them sell for me. Don't just big up yourself for being a good friend and supporting your girl. You know, just something maybe you never heard somebody say before. But pay full attention to that, because that supporting my girl thing could actually backfire and make it seem like your business not as good. No, I want somebody to say they're here because the chicken fired, not because they know me. I want them to say they use me as a business owner because I make people money, not because they know me. Oh, that's just your home girl. You know, you ain't really that good. That's just because you knew somebody. No, I'm that good. That's what you want, right? So again, you know, just from the top, you know, we want to be able to say that we got started early because we don't want to be competing with everybody. You know, the more people you have to compete with, the more you have to lower your price because the more options they have. Two, we want to have as much time as possible for people to experience our products so that we can then get referrals, because referrals make us a self-growing business. You know, meaning that we don't have to do nothing to expand other than ask. And expanding happens all on its own. And if the expansion happens, that puts us in line to get lines of credit, and not loans, lines of credit. Difference. Also puts us in the position to then, when we fill out this grant paperwork, that we can show some sales, that we can show a track record, that we seem as a more legitimate business. You know, We also, at this point, extremely important to reclaim your time, to separate yourself, to get into focus mode. Because your friends are getting paid regardless of whether or not they do a good job or not. You're only getting paid when you sell something. And if they're distracting you from selling something, how does that help you? So that's where we're at. That's why you need to start selling now. Because in a minute, it's going to be way too many people who are spending way too much money, and you don't want to spend money. You want to make money. Right? You don't just want to boost a bunch of ads, and now you're boosting ads, and your ads are getting overshadowed by Walmart ads or Sam's or whatever other retailers that are available. Plus, you want to, again, man, that people having money thing is important. I can't stress that enough. The number one thing is you want to give people why they got their money. If I'm Consuela, I don't want to wait till, the end and now they trying to, get a gift for their last $10. I want to get them when they had their full budget. Because that's when they were more than likely going to be upsold. But, this has been another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for Adult Small Business Owners and Entrepreneurs. I'm your host, your business big bro, a.k.a. Most Dangerous Man in Marketing, a.k.a. Mr. Better Than Your 401k. Sit down long. Again, 92 days till Christmas. If you want me to jump on here every day and remind you and keep giving you tips, man, then, hit some like buttons. Leave some comments. Jump in my DMs. Oh, and if you have any questions whatsoever, go over to growingrich.com and get a free 30 with me. I mean, a free 30 with me makes sense, right? It's not ridiculous to think that you couldn't learn something from somebody who's an award-winning sales trainer, a record-setting recruiter, whose work as a marketing person has generated millions of dollars. Oh, and a best-selling author who has coached Emmy winners, Business Women of the Year, whose work as a ghostwriter, has helped clients land on the LinkedIn top small business blogs. And another book with one of the richest black men in the country. I don't know. I mean, that seems like a reasonable enough thing, right? To have 30 minutes with me. But you got to go over there and book it. But until then, I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to seeing you. Don't forget about October 2nd, Beat Black Friday webinar. Be there, be square. And you get the whole holiday season to use the templates and sales scripts. And if you don't make at least, 3-4 times what you invested, you just ask me for the money back. I mean, is there a more low risk, no fail way to do anything? Just asking. But as always, man, I love you. Thank you, Consuela, for jumping on. It has been a wonderful day so far for me. Hopefully it has been a wonderful day and continues to be a wonderful day for you. I love you and I'm out.